Fuck's sake. 3, 2, 1. What's happening, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Dan Stephen here for another reaction. And this reaction, we're going to do a pitch meeting, and it's going to be Loki.
That's it, really?
There you go.
Let's just go.
You like Loki, did you?
I did. Yeah, I was saying to you before we started, like, I enjoyed the show, but it's one of those shows that you had to really fucking focus on. And I think what's annoying me about Marvel shows at the minute is there's so much information online about them. Like, once one episode finishes, you can find like 100 YouTube videos, people making these theories and whatever.
But they're all theories, you know? Like, they're like spoiling it, are they?
They're not spoiling it, but sometimes you can watch that shit and get wrapped up and thinking this is going to happen, and then it doesn't happen, and then you're like, not even I think Loki didn't really have that. I think WandaVision really suffered from that, where it was like they thought it was going to go a certain way and it just didn't, and then you end up getting disappointed. But then you have to think, but
that's just theories.
These YouTubers maybe think that.
They just made up. Exactly. I think like Star Wars really suffered from that there, didn't it? Especially in the new trilogy. I did it through Mandalorian. Like, I would watch someone break it down afterwards for me, but it didn't ruin it for me. To be fair, I think just because I kind of tell myself this is theory. This is what he's saying. May not be. I can just say the same thing or something different. I mean, there's no value on what he's saying more than me. There's something like that there. But I thought it was a great TV show. I really enjoyed it. I just like thought, because obviously spoilers galore. There's going to be like, so when they kind of, obviously there's a second season now, but they're talking about like these timekeepers and shit, and this guy controls time, and he obviously makes sure everything has to be in the same time, like whatever linear kind of storyline. But I mean, so everything from the Marvel movies, which they went back and they changed the course of history for that, there was always going to happen then. Yeah, you know what I mean?
So that's how they explained that. It was like that what didn't create, like, what is it called, like a time variant? Yeah, because that was what was supposed to happen.
But again, for me, I just think that just almost devalues that what they did and the risk they took. Like, it was always going to happen. Why? You felt like at the time it was impossible. They had to do something like extraordinary to actually stop Thanos. I think. But then this guy sitting above it all going like,
I think whenever you do anything with time, there's always going to be like a fucking something that goes, oh, it doesn't make sense. It never makes sense.
Because it's
not
real.
possible.
It's not real as well.
It never makes sense. So, I don't know. I enjoyed the show, but again, it was you had to really focus on this to understand what was going on, and I was not in the mood to watch all the breakdown videos after. So half of the shit I probably didn't really grasp.
Like at the end, there was one episode that ended, and you seen all these characters, and like
all the apes ending.
It's like this is all like different variants of Loki or different characters of Loki from the comic books. I'm like, I wouldn't have got that. Like, how would I know a crocodile and alligator was a fucking Loki, like shit like that there? And people are like, you're not a true fan. Like, no, I'm not. I don't care that much. I just enjoy it. But Tom Hiddleston was great.
He was good.
Who called the girl again? I can't remember her name. I don't know. But she was class as well. I just thought it was a really good TV show, and I thought he carried himself well. And
I love Owen Wilson as well. Owen Wilson's amazing.
Wilson's amazing. But like, I felt like you got more from the Loki character. But I always felt like almost, even though Loki's character was a dick in the movies, I always felt sorry for him. I always kind of want him to do well. So I feel like, for me personally, seeing him do well and obviously grow as a character is like really satisfying. But anyway, we'll get into pitch meeting. Think it's going to rip it apart?
Yes.
Right.
It always does.
So, you have a Loki TV show for me? Yes, sir, I do. So we're gonna pick up right from that scene in Avengers Endgame, right? Where Loki grabs the Tesseract during the Battle of New York. Okay. And so he's gonna get picked up by something called the Time Variance Authority, because he messed with something called the Sacred Timeline, so they have to prune this new timeline branch he made. Well, what about all that time travel the Avengers did? Yeah, well, see, the TVA says that was supposed to happen, but Loki grabbing the Tesseract, that wasn't. Okay, but some of the time travel they did was because Loki grabbed the Tesseract. Yeah, well, don't worry about that. Oh, okay, I won't. So they bring Loki to the TVA headquarters, and a robot starts to take his clothes off with some claws. What? But then that doesn't work, so the robot just kind of zaps his clothes off. What are you talking about? Well, sir, if Loki's gonna be the star of a Marvel show, we're gonna have to see him shirtless. That's how this works. Right, of course, that makes sense. And so then this lady, Ravonna Renslayer, wants to kill him, because he's a bad variant. All right. But then this guy, Mobius, pops in and stops her, and by the way, I was thinking we could get Owen Wilson to play this guy. Oh, people love Owen Wilson. Yeah, they do. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. And this guy's also really into jet skis. I now have a deep desire to see Owen Wilson on a jet ski that I didn't have just a few seconds ago. I know you do. That's the main hook of the show now. Oh, picturing Owen Wilson on a jet ski is tight. So Mobius is going to show Loki a video of how his life plays out after the Battle of New York. Getting his mom killed, getting close to Thor, getting killed by Thanos. Okay. And so watching this video is going to completely change Loki into a sympathetic character that can lead his own TV show. He just killed Phil Coulson. Yeah, but he watched a video, so he's pretty much a good guy now. Oh, okay, you're speed running this character development. Yeah, just kind of get it out of the way with a nice little video, which somehow has the same cinematography as the movies did. Well, okay then. And so anyway, the reason that Mobius wants Loki's help is because he's chasing this other variant that keeps killing TVA agents, and it's another variant of Loki. Oh. Yeah, and so then Loki figures out that this other version of him is hiding in apocalypses, because you could do anything there and it won't affect stuff because those timelines are ending anyway. I guess that makes sense. It does. See, Loki and Mobius head to Pompeii, and Loki starts interacting with people right before Mount Vesuvius erupts. Okay, but wouldn't that lead to some of those people dying in different positions than they would have, which would then affect the days of the people that discovered the bodies and create some kind of butterfly effect? No. Oh, okay. So eventually they go to the supermarket in the future, and Loki discovers that the other Loki is a woman, and she goes by Sylvie. Oh, interesting. Yeah, and so this is her show now. What? Yeah, this is really Sylvie's story. She was pruned at a young age and managed to escape, and she's been building up this attack against the TVA for all these years, and Loki's just kind of along for the ride. Oh, okay, gotcha. And so Sylvie sends a bunch of these things called reset charges into the TVA to distract them, right? And she wants to kill these beings called the Timekeepers, who apparently run the show. Very exciting. But then they get attacked, so Loki uses this thing called a tempad to teleport them onto a planet called Lamentus that's about to be destroyed. Smart. No, not smart, because Sylvie's like, that plan at the TVA, that was years in the making. Years. And you just ruined it. So why doesn't she just use the tempad to go back and finish the job? Well, no, now it's out of power. The plan was years in the making, but she didn't charge the tempad. That's what we're going with. So then they're gonna talk and talk for like 30 minutes straight, because that's kind of the deal with these episodes. Oh, it is. Oh yeah, a whole lot of talking. So then they find this big escape ship they have to get onto, and Loki's gonna be like, oh my god, they're gonna leave all these people to die. I mean, what does he care? He just killed a bunch of people in New York. Sir, he watched a video. He cares about this stuff now. Right, sorry, I forgot. So this city starts getting destroyed, and Loki's gonna stop a building from falling with his mind. Oh wow, I didn't realize he could do...
I don't know if I watched this show. I don't even remember him doing that.
Yeah, what can Loki do? I thought he was like Lord of God of Mischief. Yeah. But he can physically stop buildings from falling.
Seems to be.
He was like pulling the shit out of his jacket and all, and like making like weapons at one point in the movie. I was like, why didn't he do these in the movie?
I know.
That would have really helped. When Thor was when Hulk was banging him around, he could have just picked him up and threw him away.
But there are some parts of this that he's talking about, and I'm going, either I didn't think about it, or I actually just did not pay attention to this show.
On your phone. That was the exact same about Falcon the Winter Soldier. I was on my phone. I know this. Yeah. I missed this part.
Oh wow, I didn't realize he could do that. That's because his power level changes from scene to scene depending on what I want to happen. Oh, neat. Anyway, then the escape ship explodes, so their one way out is destroyed. Well, it's gonna be hard to get out of there now. Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, the power of their newfound love creates a new timeline branch, so the TVA comes and picks them up. Okay, I thought the whole thing about apocalypses was that anything can happen and it wouldn't change anything. Why does them falling in love affect things? Because it does, so they're in love now. Oh my god, can you imagine falling in love with yourself? I can. Ugh. Sorry, I'm not interested. Oh, no, I mean, I can imagine it, obviously, since I wrote it. Also, we're not the same person. I have glasses. Right, of course. Anyway, so Sylvie's also going to reveal that the TVA agents are actually just variants that used to be real people. Oh. And then eventually they find out that the Timekeepers aren't even real, and Mobius and Loki are both going to get pruned. Oh my god, Loki dies? Well, no, because see, we're going to learn that pruning someone just sends them to the void at the end of time, where a big smoke monster called Eliath Sif is then gonna kill them. Okay, why doesn't the TVA just straight up kill people then? Why the extra steps? Well, because the fans are gonna expect a scene where we watch Loki die only to find out he's not really dead. That's a good point. So Loki ends up in this void place where there are different kinds of Loki variants. Like there's an old Loki, there's an alligator Loki. Okay, does that mean in one timeline Odin adopted an alligator, or that they were all alligators in that timeline? Doesn't matter. What does matter is that we have an alligator Loki now. Fair enough. So what's the alligator gonna do? Eat someone's hand. That makes a lot of sense. So meanwhile, Ravonna explains to Sylvie the whole thing about how pruning sends you to a void, and she also says there's a ship that can bring you there. Okay. But see, Sylvie is smart, and she realizes that she's just stalling for time so agents can get there, and there is no ship. So what does she do? Well, she prunes herself so she can go to the void too. If she decided that Ravonna was lying about the ship, why did she think she was telling the truth about the void and the pruning? I don't know, but luckily she was telling the truth about that one part, so it works out great. Well, fantastic. So then Sylvie's about to be killed by this smoke monster, and Mobius shows up in a pizza car and saves her. How do you know where she was? Unclear, but then they go join Loki, who's been dealing with like a bunch of Lokis. Very fun. And then Sylvie's gonna realize that she can use her enchantment powers on this beast. She's been using them on people all season, kind of like a mind control thing. Literally nobody in the history of time who's ever been pruned has had powers like that. That's what we're going with. Well, okay then. And Mobius is gonna go back to the TVA using a temp pad, and Ravonna's gonna overpower him and escape through a doorway thing. Where's she going? Into season 2, presumably. Oh, okay. So then we're gonna meet this guy called He Who Remains, who's kind of Kang the Conqueror, only we don't know he's kind of Kang the Conqueror yet, only we do because we're obviously gonna announce the casting. Oh boy, so what's he gonna do? Oh, well, he's gonna talk. Oh, yeah, he's gonna talk for like 45 minutes. He's gonna explain everything. It's gonna be like that architect scene from The Matrix. Wow. Talk, 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 talk. And sometimes Loki and Sylvie are gonna be like, why? Or what does that mean? And that'll set up the next rounds of talking. A very talky finale. And so essentially this guy is like, you can kill me, which will create like a multiverse and a huge war, or you can take over and protect the sacred timeline. So what happens? Well, Sylvie does kill him, and then the multiverse branches out into like crazy timelines, and he's like, see you soon. Oh boy, that's massive. It's a massive deal. This multiverse is gonna shape the whole phase of the MCU. This is gonna be such an insane twist. Nobody's gonna see this coming. Yeah, as long as we don't spoil that this is gonna happen in some way. Oh yeah, well, we might do that now that you mention it. What? How?
Yeah. I seen that. I'm starting to think this TV show wasn't good then.
No, so I think it is. I mean, you can watch your favourite ever movie and I can kill it.
Well, there's so much whole. I didn't think that was. And there's a lot of talking as well.
There was, yeah.
Do you
not think it was mad that they actually set up the next phase of the Marvel universe in a TV show?
Yeah, it's class. It's just how big TV shows actually are now.
It's like,
everyone's watching it. Everyone knows where it's going to go.
Do you think there's a risk that people go into the next phase and not have watched Loki and are like, what the fuck is going on
There's
here?
always a risk of that. There's a risk of going in the movies. I didn't think I wanted to see like some movies before I seen the first. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah,
but that's what you gotta do. You can't go and see fucking Star Wars Episode 9 and go, who's Palpatine? You're like, wait, what? You know what I mean? Like, you can't expect.
It's on you, really, isn't it?
And to be fair, you don't need to watch this. You can just go on and find out. It's like something you can still enjoy movies without knowing everything about them. Because sometimes, like, my brother went to see Black Widow there. He's like, I haven't seen any of them. Like, I don't know what happened. I didn't know Black Widow died and all. And he was like, it was a good movie though. It was good. Enjoyed it. So I think you can still enjoy movies.
Yeah, you definitely
get more from it when you have the backstory. You know what's going to happen. But you knew this is always going to branch off into the multiverse because even Spider-Man's been tipped for how long now? Like fucking years.
Yeah.
Is Tobey Maguire going to be in there or what?
No idea. Apparently he's supposed to be playing Uncle Ben in there. Sorry.
I want the. Boring them.
Sorry.
I want it to be all of them though, like all the experiments back together. So I thought the multiverse was gonna be.
Don't know. Who knows?
Anyway, that was our reaction. If you enjoy Loki, then let us know in the comments below. Any other reactions you want us to do, then let us know in the comments below. Cheers.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching the video. Please like, comment and subscribe. Just to let you know, we've got similar content available on the channel if you want to check it out.
We also do our own podcast called MCPodcasting, where we cover a range of topics from politics, sports and even movies.
We basically just talk a lot of shit.
We argue a lot as well on it there, but all the links are below. We're on all major platforms, Spotify, iTunes, and is there any other?
That's the main ones, yeah.
Yeah, it's the main ones.
Just check out the podcast, and if there's any sort of videos you want us to react to, drop us a comment on the YouTube videos, and we'll be sure to check it out.
Or if you want to make fun of us, then go ahead. We don't care.
Be nice.
Be nice.
In fairness, we don't really get that many comments.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Stop looking at me.
Okay.